What's up, everybody, and happy Monday. It's a little bit later than what I wanted to, or the time that I wanted to record, because today honestly was a very busy day. I was extremely tired last night. Like, I felt like, I don't know, like I was just very tired last night. So this morning I woke up later than I wanted to, and then Mondays are always very busy to me. So if I don't start off on a good foot, then things just start to spiral out of control, number one. So last night I was also supposed to do my hair, and as you can see, it's not done. Also, I found out today that, so I talked about it a little bit earlier when the whole COVID-19 stuff first happened, that my job sent us all to work from home, and they kept giving like tentative dates, and they pushed the last date that we knew about was July 13th, is that when we would be back in the office. Just found out that they made an announcement on Friday after I left work that they pushed it back to September 8th. So I don't even, it's weird because, and then after this I'll get into the content for the day because I don't want to ramble on, but it's weird because I feel very blessed and fortunate to work for a company that allows people to shift to working from home. So I'm not complaining about that. I just feel more organized and more structured. Like, I feel like my day is more structured. My eating habits are better. I'm drinking more water when I go into the office, which is strange because I have all of those things readily available, like obviously in my house, but I just feel more organized when I go into the office, and which includes not only the stuff that I have to do for work, but outside of work too. So like, I get up in the morning, I normally read my Bible, do be blessed, get ready for work, go to work, and then come home, get my life together for that. I was working out. It's just weird. It's just different. It's a different structure, and I feel like I had really been resisting giving into that new normal because I was just like, oh, we'll be back to normal soon, but it doesn't look like it. So this week and probably this weekend, I'm really going to just buckle down and get my life together, get my schedule together. I'm going to go to bed early so I can wake up early and get on the right foot. But anyway, that is not what the content of this video is about. That was a super long rant. Hope everyone had a great start to their Monday, but let's get into today's video. As always, God is going to be blessed. God is blessing us. He's always going to be blessing us. So this week we are talking about a new fruit of the Spirit. So just to recap, this month our goal focus is to be of good spirit. And what does that mean? It means that we want to adopt in our spirit the good, the morally righteous things that we should have. And those things are the fruit of the Spirit, which is outlined in the Bible in Galatians. So each week for this month and next month, we're going to be taking a piece of that fruit or a different section of the fruit and really breaking that down, and not only identifying what it means to have that piece, to have that portion a part of our spirit, but also how to live that in our everyday life. So one of the things that I've been talking about that we're going to be doing is doing a spiritual detox or a spiritual cleanse, to really rid ourselves of the bad things or the bad fruit that have been planted and harvested in our spirits, and we are going to adopt in this new fruit so that we can just be fruitful people and then just have good spirits. Okay, just be of good spirit. And to be of good spirit doesn't mean that you're the most holy or the most righteous person, but it means that you're conducting yourself in a way that is in line with where God has purpose for you to go. Okay, so the first week we talked about love, last week we talked about joy, this week we are talking about peace. Okay, peace. And we've already talked about peace a little bit earlier in this year, so the videos this week shouldn't be too bad. And then on Saturday, I'm going to go live. I was supposed to go live last Saturday, but to be honest, in full disclosure, I 100% forgot. And but then I thought about it. It just makes more sense because there's going to be 9 weeks to do it every 3 weeks. So I'll be going live this Saturday. But this week we are talking about peace, and it may, for the people that have been keeping up with 2020 Be Blessed, it may be a little bit of a recap. Some of the things that we're going to talk about, but you can never talk too much about peace, okay? Because unless you are truly living in a peaceful state, you probably always need to talk about what peace is, how to how to live in peace. So not just how to experience it, but how to live and dwell in peace. And then how to make sure your life is reflecting that of peace. And that is so important, especially with the climate of everything that is going on around, with the violence in the world and police brutality, and things that's going on in our government, and just a lot of craziness. It is so important to make sure that your spirit is at peace. That way you're not worrying about things that you shouldn't be worrying about, or even if the things come up, you're not allowing them to overtake you so much that you have anxiety and you're having trouble sleeping at night, and you're constantly focusing on what's happening in the media and what's happening in the news and in the government, instead of really working on bettering yourself and getting your life together. Okay, so that's some of the things that we're going to talk about this week. Today, I just want to simply identify and define what peace means. And then again, Wednesday and Friday, we're going to break those things down. So peace, it pretty much means that it's that we are, when we're talking about peace, it means that we are free from disturbance, or we're in a tranquil state. So in tranquility. Okay. There are a couple other definitions too that we're going to hit on a little bit later this week. The second one is no war, or the war has ended. Okay, so normally you hear that in like back in the, I don't know, whenever I think of back in the day, like medieval times, my mind automatically goes to Game of Thrones, because I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, but that's neither here nor there. So no war, or the war has ended. And then also it is used as an order to be silent. So a big one is if, a big one was in the Bible when God told the waters, peace be still, and then the waters were still. But it's also, so it's used as a command in order to show, or in order to express or command that you want that environment or that thing to be silent, or those people. So if I was talking to my nieces and they were too loud, I could easily just say, peace, be still. And hopefully their spirits would, I don't know. I love them, but they're a little rowdy sometimes. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about this week. Very excited to uncover a new portion of the fruit of the Spirit, so that we can, again, just make sure that we are cleansing ourselves. And another thing too, which I'm going to talk about this on Saturday too, is when we're talking about a spiritual detox and a spiritual cleanse, it's also, we need to make sure that we are putting those things into practice and we're actively working on it. Similar to if you were doing a cleanse or a diet in order to be physically healthy. It's not just enough to make sure that that your inside is has been detoxed, but you also need to make sure that you're physically active. Okay, so whether that's walking, jogging, running, just lifting weights, whatever form of working out you do, you need to make sure that you are focusing on the external as well as the internal. So when we're doing our spiritual detox, that's the internal, but how do you externally make sure that you're focusing on these fruit of the Spirit? You're putting them into practice. So when we talked about love, you're making sure that you're showing love every single day. When we talked about joy, you're making sure that you are exuding joy, or that your environment around you is joyful. Same thing with peace and the other fruits of the Spirit too. So I'll talk a little bit about that more on Saturday though. So hope everyone has a great rest of their day today and a fabulous Tuesday, and I will talk to you guys again on Wednesday. Bye.